are on the air, Pops. What time is it?
It's Chomp time.
It's early, but yes, it is Chomp time. I am Mike. That is Pops. Oh, he's drinking his scotch early this morning. This is the Chomp Time Podcast. This is episode 15, which I have called No Cojones. Absolutely no cojones. We are going to be breaking down the Florida-Tennessee game. We are also going to be looking...
Did we play? Did we play Tennessee?
We did.
Okay.
We're also going to be looking at the midway point of the season. We are 3-3. We'll do a recap of the first 6 games, kind of, and our direction moving forward. And at the very end, we will also discuss titles that I could have used for this episode. Pops, I'll let you start off. The University of Florida, University of Tennessee game in Knoxville on Saturday. The Tennessee Volunteers prevailed with a 23-17 win in overtime. Your thoughts?
Well, we're 3-3. That's about as positive, I think, as I'm going to get in this entire podcast.
Okay.
I think I've always been one of these individuals that would say, stop blaming coaching. It's players that make plays. It's players that get on the field. It's players that score touchdowns. It's players that make mistakes. I'm going to go off the grid today. It was all about coaching. Period. End of story. This defense that we had, which has been maligned for weeks and weeks and weeks, came to play and played hard, played smart. Very few penalties that didn't change the outcome of a game. They played from the first snap of the ball till the end. They gave everything they had. Our offense, there were some really bright, shiny moments in our offense, and there were some duds. Unfortunately, we lost Graham Mertz for the rest of the season, and his college career is over, as he posted out last night. I feel bad for the kid. He did a good job for us. He really did. For the 2 years, year and a half he was with us. This was his team. He took everything on his shoulders and said, hey, everything goes through me. He did everything he possibly could do. Unfortunately, he's kind of going to be known for a coaching mistake where it's it's goal to goal on the 1 yard line. And unfortunately, our crack 80-person staff couldn't figure out that we should bring in our freshman, kind of like Tebow, when it was Tebow and Leak, to throw that touchdown and run it in, either to throw it or throw it, basically to run the ball in. They let us down. First quarter, we did everything we possibly could do on defense in the first quarter. And there was something I forgot to do, and Mom mentioned it to me, and he goes, when we were doing the precast for the last episode, saying what playing against Tennessee. What I should have said is Peyton never beat the Gators. So I just want to say that from Tennessee, Peyton never beat the Gators.
No, he never did. But
I'm kind of at a loss right now. If you want to go in, and I don't know what to say other than the fact that there were so many coaching debacles in this game that it was a culmination of so many bad decisions. I said to Mom, and I'll leave it and let you go in this, that if we scored a touchdown, even before we had a ball in the fourth quarter, if we score a touchdown, we go for 2. If we don't make it, we lose. It is what it is. Okay, but this is an opportunity we have. We can't go to overtime. We cannot go to overtime. And sure enough, we score. And the one time he's going to do a trick play, they call timeout. Well, I guess they knew what I was going to do, so I had to call timeout. I mean, it was. This guy has got to go. It's you.
He's a joke. He's a joke. He's a joke. He's a joke. From his press conferences to his play calling to his game managing, if you want to even call it that. We should have easily been up 13-0, at least in the
Yeah.
first half.
Yeah.
He has some kind of, he must be a different person in the locker room because the team played their hearts out on both
Oh,
sides of the ball. The team played their hearts out. I haven't seen a Gators defense. I don't even care how good Tennessee is or isn't. I don't think they're as good as a
no.
top 10 team. But
No, they're not. No.
regardless, on the road, hostile environment, huge game. I haven't seen our defense play that hard or that well for 20, 15 years. So yeah, it's tough to put into words how disappointing the entire game ended up to be. When it's 3-0 at half. Now I was working, but I watched a lot of the game and I was able to do my job kind of and apologize to all my guests. But being up 3-0 in the first half was an indictment on this entire staff. From the 4th and 1, where we do a end around on 4th and inches. And
Yeah.
by the way, that was following a huge third down play in which, what did you think we called? A flanker screen that didn't get the first down yet again. So then he has DJ Lagway. All he has to do is fall forward. No, we have an end around. So that doesn't get it. We go down to 1st and goal on the 1 yard line, and his first play call is Graham Mertz. Well, we probably should have snuck it on that 4th and 1 before. So let's try it now with our smaller quarterback. It's not his fault that Mertz fumbled, but
No, I'm not blaming him. I'm not. I really am not blaming him.
no. But you bring in Montreal Johnson and you run it 3 times in a row up the middle. The one time in your entire career, you should actually run the ball right up the middle, as opposed to every first down you've had for the last 2.5 years running the ball up the middle is the 1st and goal on the 1 yard line. It
Fair.
wasn't 1st and goal on the 1 inch line. It was the 1 yard line.
Yeah. Bare minimum. Bare minimum. We should have been 13-0 up at halftime. We took the entire 101, 105, whatever the hell it was, 1,000 fans out of the game. I didn't hear that stupid song pretty much the entire game. Our defense just kept on stopping them, kept on stopping them, kept on stopping them. And then we had these horrendous play calling and put our guys in the worst possible positions. I mean, end around. I mean, hey, I was happy Wilson got the ball, but end around, really? Is that our best option right there at 4th and 1? I mean, so many times. I mean, I'm not
And
blaming.
you
I'm
can, you
not
can
blaming the field goal kicker. I'm not blaming any of these players today. I'm sorry. I'm not. They gave everything they could
no.
give.
Even if Smack had made that field goal,
Wouldn't have mattered.
Tennessee was going to score a touchdown, and the reason why is we had nothing left,
Nothing.
and that is a just from a fan thousands of miles away that can clearly see we've got nothing left. We've poured our heart and soul into the game. If we score a touchdown, you go for two. If we miss it, we'll live with it. But at least you would be following the motto you used when you came in: scared money don't make money. You shit your pants. That is the exact time, if there ever is a time to go for two. There's 20 seconds left in the game. More than likely, they are not going to have time to go down and kick a field goal. Your number one quarterback just got hurt and is out. Your number one running back is hurt and is out. Your defense has let it all out. They've got nothing left. You are on the road. You are expected to get blown out of this game. You are playing against a rival and a top 10 team. If there was ever a time for you to have a brain in your head and
Yeah.
to realize, if ever, this is when we go for two, this is it. And then, of course, who knows what he would have called? Who knows if it would have happened? But the absolute 100% correct call is to go for that.
I couldn't agree 1,000% more. The guy has no cojones, as you said. The
Yeah, that episode,
podcast.
yeah.
He has none, zero. This guy is milk toast. This guy is the same. Well, we got a level. We got. I'm
He
tired of.
keeps his,
I
you know,
can't listen to this guy. I saw him. I turned it right away. I cannot listen to this guy.
no,
I am so sick of this coaching staff, and I put on social media. There was a lot of morons on social media, and I
including
posted some
us at
things,
times.
and I
Yeah,
posted things that are crazy. But this guy, was given everything he wanted. He was given new facilities. He was given upgrades. He was given an 80-man staff. 80 people work for the department.
yeah.
Everything this guy could have wanted, he got. And this guy has not a clue. It's not a big time coach. This guy
No.
is a Division two, whatever you want to call it, Division 1A, whatever that's what they used to call it. This guy is nowhere near an SEC coach.
And let's not forget that he got a $7.5 million contract per year and a huge buyout coming from Louisiana. Oh,
Yeah.
we had some success at Louisiana. Big effing deal. We gave him everything. And he has shown time and time and time again that he is not up to the job. He's got 80 staff members or more. His whole job should be game management and play calling.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And from the opening game, let's start with the bowl game. We lost 30-3. It's almost like our team had never seen a football field before. We had to kick a 50-yard field goal the last play of the game to score 3 points against Oregon State. I don't care how many guys opted out. I don't care how many guys were hurt. Oregon State had some of the same stuff. There's no way Oregon State had anywhere near the talent on the field that we did. And from that point forward, I was on high alert that this guy has no idea what he's doing. Then, coming into year two at Utah, first play, we give up a 70-yard bomb. Nobody knows where they are. Our team looked listless the entire game, unprepared, just like the rest of the season. Then the opening for year three, after a summer that we were told, this is the best team we've ever had. We are on schedule. We are ready to play. Our players are motivated. Came out, I don't care how good Miami is or not. We looked unprepared completely. Same thing against Texas A&M. We are going backwards in year three.
Look. It's and as I told you that night. For the opportunity that we had at this game. I mean, everybody, we were what, 14.5%, 14.5 point underdogs.
Yeah,
There was nobody that gave us a chance in this game
nobody.
except for one person.
You
The
did.
old ball coach said, we're going to upset this team. And the old ball coach, had he been coaching, was right. This team was ready to win. All we had to do was follow through on a couple of good calling plays that we never got, okay? Right now we would have been 4-2. After Kentucky, we would have been 5-2. No matter what the next four games are, we would beat Florida. We would have been at least the minimum. We would have been 6-6. Minimum 6-6. There's no chance today. We're
No,
3-3. There's no chance. We got
no.
Murderers Row coming at us after Kentucky. Come on. It's we had our chances, and the coaching staff blew this game. They completely blew this game, and especially the head coach, because you have to take responsibility because you're the head coach. This game
Well,
was for
we
us to
got
win.
we got another opportunity Another opportunity coming up on Saturday against Kentucky. There, Stoops is a great coach. We gotta work on the things we've been working on, and we got to get a little bit better. We got another opportunity. Our guys played our tails off.
Let me ask
The
you.
tail,
Let me ask you.
the
Let me
tail.
ask you a question. Who's our second string quarterback now?
I think it's Warner. But anyway, so we're at the midway point. We're 3-3. So here's my thoughts.
Yeah,
3-3. We should be at worst 4-2.
I have us at 5-7 now.
Five. So you think we're going to beat Kentucky, and you think we're going to beat Florida State?
The only reason we're going to beat Kentucky is because we're at home, and Florida State. Listen, the little sisters of the poor right now could beat Florida
Yeah.
State. They got nothing.
So you think we're going to be 5-7?
Yeah,
I am wearing a black sweatshirt today. I know I'm usually
yeah,
not a very optimistic guy, and I'm working on that just on my life, period, much less Florida Gator football. But
yeah.
that was the end of the season. I am very proud of given everything that has happened with this program in the last 2.5 years, how hard our players played in Knoxville this Saturday. I
Agreed.
don't recall being as proud of a group of players in the last 20 years. Obviously, we've had a lot more success, but this team fought so hard to win that game, despite who their coach is, despite who their position group coaches are, despite where they were, despite all the negative noise that from me and you and everyone else in Gator Nation on social media and all around the country, despite the enormous spread against us. They fought, they're done now. I can't really blame them because that was all on the coach. He put us in a position to lose like usual. And I think this is the end of the season. I find it hard to believe that we're going to win any more games. We play Kentucky at home. We have DJ starting the rest of the year, so there is some optimism there where finally we have a quarterback. And I love Mertz, but finally we have one quarterback who's it's your
Oh,
job.
you mean you don't think he's going to alternate the next
He
second string?
might. I wouldn't put it past him. Maybe Warner makes
Let,
one good
let,
throw in
let,
practice, and
let me
we got
let
to
me
get him.
let me just go here. This is unbelievable. I'm going to give you some stats here for the first half. Total offense. Okay, we had 194 yards. The number 8th ranked Tennessee Vols at home had 130. Okay, we had 121 yards passing. They had 89. Here's the key. We had 73 yards rushing. They had 41. They had 41 yards rushing in the first half, and we come at the end of the quarter, at the end of the half, with a 3-0 lead. Are you
Right,
kidding me?
right, right. And
I
this
mean,
this team this team averages 276 yards rushing per game. They ended up having 143 yards rushing. They had 300 total yards. We had 361 total yards.
and then you go to the third quarter. I thought, okay, here's our demise right here. Okay, we're on the 8-yard line. Oh God, we're on our own 8-yard line. This is not going to work. I mean, we're going to either turn the ball over, we'll make some stupid penalties. Before you know it, we're going to have to kick them out of the ball on the 30-yard line. They run 9 plays, the Gators, 9 plays for 92 yards, with a culminating in a 13-yard passing touchdown to Boardingham. Okay,
Yeah.
I mean, it was like, okay, I think we've turned the table here. This is a Gator team I haven't seen. We're doing everything we possibly can do, and then the fourth quarter comes, and we don't know how to play call. We don't know how to play call. We don't know how to play defense. We don't know how to. It was like the guys, like you said, they gave everything they had. There was nothing left, and
Well, I
especially
think
when Montreal went down. and then Mertz went down. I thought, oh my God. Okay, so here's a perfect example of what you were talking about. Mertz goes down. Montreal's not playing anymore because he got hurt. Okay, we're gonna score a touchdown. Okay, and take the lead if we go for a 2-point. We have nothing left. There's only 20-something seconds left in the game. And his thing was, I saw the interview. Well, we thought we'd try a trick play. We lined up here and this and that, and then they saw it, so we had to call a timeout. So I thought, well, we can have more plays in overtime, so let's just kick the extra point. What a complete moron.
He said we went back and forth on it. You should have been thinking about that the entire game, the entire second half.
Listen, you
So
don't have your
part
starting.
of this, listen, part of this is
Yeah,
also football gods. I just think that
yeah,
the Florida Gator football program has been jinxed
yeah,
since Tebow left. We finally score a touchdown in
yeah.
that game with Mertz to Boardingham with that great drive, and we go up 10-0. This game is very close to being over at that point. And then, of course, he wasn't even touched, and somehow he tears his ACL. And all of a sudden, somehow our momentum from scoring a touchdown and 10-0 turns into great. The guy that just led us on a 92-yard drive just is out of the game now. It feels like we're jinxed.
But if you're a head coach, okay, and you just scored a touchdown, so you can kick an extra point with 20 seconds to go, or you could go for two and try to win the game outright because in 20 seconds,
Yeah,
very little.
Dad,
There's,
we've gone
I know,
over
but here's
this.
the thing. But here's the thing. You have your two best players out on offense.
I know. I already said that. Yes, I know. It's we. This is well
We have to keep
documented.
we have to keep on repeating it because the coach doesn't understand that.
Yeah, he's an embarrassment. He's a filthy rich embarrassment. He is awful at his job. He's got hundreds of people to help him with his job. He's got millions of dollars of brand new sparkling facilities.
Yeah.
He's got everything he needs to be successful. And it's almost like you have to try to be this boring. You have to try to be this vanilla. You have to try to be this unoriginal or not creative. Like, I've never seen a coach as inept as this guy. And it's time to move on. Like, I don't think we're going to win another game. Like, there's no way that this team is going to continue to fight the way they did, knowing who their leader is. The only maybe silver lining here is that I think in the locker room that the players think, it's just an opinion of mine, that Lagway is the better quarterback. I love Mertz. He's been great for the Gators. He's been great for our brand. He's been a stand-up guy, a wonderful leader. It looks like a lot of the team was very emotional seeing him on crutches, and that's fine. But I still say that I think the locker room thinks that DJ is the savior in a way. So that's the only silver lining we have. They might play hard for him, at least for the first half of the Kentucky game. But their belief in our coach and our coaches is probably on the smallest little thread right now, where if it's 4th and 2 and we're at the 48-yard line and he decides to punt, that'll be it. And I won't be able to blame the players for that, even though a lot of them are getting paid a lot of money. They're getting a free education. They're getting to play in front of one of the cathedrals of college football. There's only so much you can take after 2.5 years of just complete horrendous decisions left and right and putting his players in positions to fail all the time. There's only so much you can give to this guy. And I don't think they've got anything left. It's like, you don't go for two there and you expect us to hold up in overtime after your play calling, after the whole game of what we did. and we should be winning this game handily. And now we're going to go to overtime, and we start off with the ball, and those are the three plays you give us? Really? So it's 3rd and 15, and you decide to run the ball to give up, even though you had just seen the guy playing quarterback on 3rd and 18 with a miraculous play to get a touchdown to tie the game. You just saw that 20 minutes ago. You're going to run the ball and
Yeah.
settle for a 48-yard field goal on the road. You're not going to give the only reason why you still have a job, a chance to win the game in overtime and throw something near the end zone on that 3rd and 15 play in overtime. How can the defense look at that and be like, how am I playing for this guy? So it's
Well,
over. The season is
you're
over
well.
for all.
It is. We're not going to be a 500 team. We're not getting another bowl game,
No,
which will be
no.
another thing. And here's the thing: we're going into the Kentucky game. We got a freshman quarterback. We're going to have another freshman wide receiver, Mizell. We're going to have, second year Wilson. I mean, this is supposed to be the nucleus going forward. Let's hope so. Let's hope they stay.
No, they're gone.
Listen. Let's hope we have a really good game and see what happens. Yes, there's a lot of opportunities for this guys to get the hell out of here. I get that, but let's just see what happens.
Well, yeah, let's see what happens. That's fine. But we got Kentucky. We're going to lose that game. We got Georgia. We're going to get absolutely obliterated that game. We go to Texas. I'm not even sure half the team will want to go to Texas,
But
other than to see maybe
they'll want to see the stadium.
other than to see the stadium. Then we have either LSU or Ole Miss, and we have
Oh,
LSU. Then we have
LSU.
Ole Miss, and then we have Florida State. The Florida State game is going to be one of the saddest games
Oh,
in the history, probably the saddest game in the history of the rivalry.
that would be an ESPN Plus game, so nobody can watch it.
If
Yeah,
that. If
yeah,
that. So, yeah, we are looking at starting all over again, which I am looking forward to doing. I've been on red alert since that bowl game at the end of season 1, and he has just continued to prove my point that he is not the guy, game after game after game, season after season. So let's end on like a high note. How about the possible titles for this episode that I debated, Pops?
yeah,
Are
yeah,
you ready?
yeah.
So this was episode 15, which we ended up calling No Cojones. I asked your opinion, and you like that one. So No Cojones. He's got no nuts,
No,
no
no,
balls,
nothing,
absolutely
nothing.
nothing saying that he's a man and going to go for things, and scared money don't make money.
Well, the
So
levels, are
we gotta keep improving, with what they're going off. So possible titles for episode 15 were Mr. Poopy Pants,
yeah.
Billy soils himself, Scared Money just lost money,
Where did I hear that before?
yeah, Fire his ass, The end is near, Flanker screens are fun, and finally, Mama Bear has left the building.
Let me tell you
Those are
something.
all titles that would have been apropos
That
for
was the
episode
best.
15.
That last section right there was the best part of this podcast because I'm
Yeah.
laughing.
So anyway, brighter days are ahead, but only when we have a new coach and a new staff, a new direction, hopefully a new AD. We need to get a president at the university. Florida needs to get his shit together.
We're in
Period.
we're in flux right now, and the flux from naming, like you said, a president all the way down is going to take some time because it just doesn't happen overnight. Unfortunately, we're gonna have this coach till the end of the season because they figure there's nothing going on. We're not going anywhere, so you might as well leave this guy where he is.
Probably.
You're right about recruiting. Recruiting is down the tubes.
Yeah.
I still believe, okay, it's still the University of Florida. There are people in the portal that'll want to come here, but let's see what happens. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, by week 1 of 2025,
Yeah,
we will have a president. My guess is we will have a new AD. We will have a new football coach, and hope abounds with a new start.
I agree.
So, anyway, I am Mike. That is Pops. This was the Chomp Time Podcast, episode 15, called No Cojones. For the love of God, Gators. I
Get
did that
up,
wrong. See, I'm like Billy. Billy's rubbing off on me. Come on, Gators.
get up and go.
Take care, everybody.